Some have it black. Some prefer milk. Others espresso, latte macchiato, americano, Java this, flat that, steaming hot or on ice. Coffee. Massachusetts is home to the second largest chain in the country, the fifth largest in ground coffee market share, and specialty brews in eclectic atmospheres. After water, tea is the most consumed beverage on the planet, but here in the U.S., that title goes to coffee. So, how did we get here? You have to go back many centuries to the eastern edge of Africa.
The legend of Kaldi the shepherd from Ethiopia, who in the 9th century, and he was take his sheep to pasture. Notice in one particular pasture, they were very frisky and animated. They were consuming these berries, so he made a brew, enjoyed it. There was a monastery nearby. The monk would walk in the evenings. Kaldi scolded him, "You have partaken of the devil's fruit." So he ignored him. After a while, the monk said, "Let me try it." And he was able to stay up for the late night prayers.
Coffee officially made its first appearance in New England sometime in the 17th century.
There was not a real good circuit of bringing in a reliable source of coffee at the time. So merchants often would bring in coffee if they were bringing in other goods from around the world.
The foreign bean with an interesting side effect was celebrated in coffee taverns and inns.
Coffee was considered the drink of the intellectuals. Also, it turned to the people who were seditious as well.
The original Green Dragon was the coffee house of choice for patriotic colonials and became a center of social and political activity for well more than a century. Coffee really started to fill America's cup when it was considered unpatriotic to drink tea.
Many of the people who got together to plan the revolution were right here in coffee houses in Boston.
The cup would eventually runneth over with brands like Dunkin' and New England Coffee. Today, specialty and artisanal shops seem to dot every Cambridge corner. A story in part that began in a bathroom.
I'm in love with coffee, and that's what drives me.
When George Howell, crafter and owner of George Howell Coffee, moved from the West Coast to Boston.
We drove to the East Coast. I brought a grinder, and I would stop at the Howard Johnson's on the interstate. And I would take the grinder into the men's room, grind the coffee, leaving it smelling much better than it was when I walked in, pour it into my French press, brew and drink my coffee. What was interesting was how many people got up from their tables and walked over to me and asked me about what I was doing. And this was before I had a clue that I would be in coffee.
But he soon discovered that New Englanders needed an upgrade.
The coffee was dreadful here. You know, at best, you would find a cheese shop and you'd get the beans, and I said at last, right, and ground it up, and it was really brown painted sawdust.
Coffee Connection opened its doors in 1975. Harvard Square's first specialty coffee cafe. It was an instant boost.
It was incredible. It was like one of the biggest days in the stock exchange because we were the only game in town.
In 1994, a company revolutionizing espresso and introducing the now iconic barista had plans to expand in Beantown, Starbucks.
I was not into having a big battle with that.
So Howell sold his first company, a moment he credits to bringing him closer to coffee, traveling the world with his family to meet the growers, coffee farmers.
That's where I came to really appreciate the fact that farmers were not only not making money, they were losing money.
He percolated on the imbalance, eventually creating models for economic stability for the farmer, including Cup of Excellence, a competition highlighting high-quality coffee craftsmanship.
To try to prove that farmers can make money on this and participate in what has made many Americans rich through specialty coffee, but very few, if any, growers.
Howell says the future of coffee isn't so much innovation here as it is thriving here.
It's all about the farmer.
That drive sent Howell back to his roots. Today, he is still roasting George Howell coffee in this Acton facility.
I try to do strictly single farm coffees.
Single source, high quality, still obsessed with every single bean.
Well, meanwhile, a Bloomberg report says that coffee bean reserves are at their lowest levels in years because of climate change. And the concern is that going forward, about half of the land that's currently available will be available in the future to grow beans.